particles of light. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm so excited to be sharing with you another true story of a star being who walks among us. Just go to another story. So this story is called La Selena. Alright. I am an incarnate, not a hybrid. I named myself La Selena, meaning leaf of the stars, because I feel so close to the trees, and I know that I am not from here. The name came from Tolkien Elvish, and is the name that I feel describes my soul the best. One can recognize us who incarnated not by how we look, but by the feeling around us. People feel relaxed, trusting, and open to express themselves around us. Most of us here on Earth are born with almond-shaped eyes, of which the sides slant slightly upward to the side of the head. There are about 50 of us on Earth, all over the planet. I can feel them mostly in California and the Far East. So I am trying to find them. We don't like to be recognized here on Earth because there are those who try to trace our energy and thought forms back to our home world, and we don't want them to have that information. Our original home world is now inhabited by someone else. We are renegades living among the Pleiadians. We don't name ourselves or our planets. We would be considered Pleiadian, but we are recognized by our energy patterns, which are unique to every being, as with any species. The stripes in our energy field is our name. Stripes are acquired from experiences each soul goes through. Trying to describe who we are is like trying to draw a third-dimensional object on a piece of paper. If I had an infinite number of drawings, it would still not be suitable to describe us. One's mindset, life perspectives, thoughts, and emotions all show in their energy field, unless one is totally neutral. A being can only be neutral if they have complete knowledge of everything. You can see this energy in everything, conscious or not. We have about 500,000 beings on our home world. we do have alliances with other species, mainly the Pleiadians, and we consider ourselves part of the Galactic Federation. Our race is a hybrid one itself. We have some Andromedan DNA from a human type race there, and ones that look more like we do. Their eyes are blue and almost as big as the Greys. Very pointy chin, hardly any nose, and their skin is white. We are usually in a higher form and not visible on our physical home planet. However, some decide to incarnate into a physical form, and when we do, our form is similar to humans, but a flexible look. I think Tolkien knew my people because he describes us to a T. And our planet looks almost exactly like Lotharian. We are tall and thin, but we have more strength than we appear to have. We look like elves in physical form. Our people's ears are somewhat pointed, as it shows in those movies, but smaller. It is even a trait that we have incarnated into a human body. I have really small ears that go out at a unique angle, and I have really good hearing. Our eyes are really big, similar to a human shape, but smaller than the Greys. Our heads are oval shaped and larger than humans. When we are not incarnated on Earth, we are about 7 to 8 feet tall, have small noses, thin lips, and a pointy jaw. We tend to be on the quiet side, but we are not afraid of partying. We don't sit in the corner at parties. We dance on the table, so everyone can be entertained as they laugh at us. We are jokesters. We speak telepathically, and we travel by thought. We feel nothing except God, love, and peace. Our food is the light. We have an amazing ability to understand anything we focus on. We absorb information fully to retain it. For example, whenever we need information about something, we just tap into that dimension and get it. The information is available to anyone at all times. You just need to know how to listen. It is a skill to relearn. You imagine what something could be, and then you use your intuition for the rest. Whatever you see Ask if it is correct. Sometimes the image will change in your mind, or you will get a yes in your gut feeling. You must relearn to feel and trust your intuition. We use a planet that we're living on with the Pleiadians for contact experiences only. Some beings, when they visit us, feel more comfortable communicating with a physical form. Our diplomats usually go into physical form to communicate with other beings. Others choose to be guides, and they travel to other places. For example, I have 10 guides with me here in the ethereal form to remain inconspicuous. On Earth, we only incarnate as human. Our people will take a vacation and lower their vibration to the 4th or 5th dimension to experience things and get a different perspective. It is actually difficult for us to stay in one dimension. I am always shifting between the dimensions. Even now, it is very difficult for me to be in physical form. The only way we know how to speak is through thought form, telepathically. When we come in contact with other species, we will understand their thought forms as they speak. But then we have to learn how to use their language to speak back to them. Beings of all kinds have an instant trust in our people. Even us incarnate on Earth. Because of this trust, we can place our finger on the being's forehead and send images through them. We prefer this way of communication. There is no such thing as ownership with our people. Humans have an instinct of ownership from birth. But even as an incarnate here, I don't feel ownership. So this creates problems for us in that we are not good about respecting other people's boundaries and items of ownership. It is just something that doesn't make sense to us. I am always wanting to meet more people who are like-minded in this way. We cannot be isolated to the Pleiades because there are over 400 stars in the system. We have 2 equal-sized stars that are just far enough from each other that they don't sap off of each other. We have a larger planet that circles around both of these stars. This is a planet in another system, very close to only one star. This planet comes so close to one of the stars while orbiting that they pull on each other's gravity and the orbit is erratic. It is just close enough that we are comfortable and it does not cause us damage. We do have gravity, but it is not as strong as Earth's. Our home planet is slowly dying, but it is still warm. Our water is still very much alive in our rivers and streams. Since the core of our planet is cooling, there haven't been any new formations on the planet for a while. We have hills, but it is not rocky and mountainous. We are peace-loving, and we don't get involved in wars. If someone attacks us, we do not run or fight back. We just protect ourselves by using a type of shielding. We live among nature. The places we move to have mostly vegetation, and we like it that way. We find that vegetation is always very harmonious. It is hard to fight with a plant. The plants of our world actually cradle. The plants on our world actually cradle us like we are their children. And it was not uncommon to fall in love with a tree or a plant. Similar to how humans fall in love with a place or an idea. The plant life are probably the wisest beings on our planet. They all have their own energy and personalities, but they are all similar. They have a consciousness, and we are very much alive. They are huge in size and more observant than anything else. Not sure what this picture is. It looks kind of like the planet. When a traveler comes to our planet, they will not see much besides the plants and the trees. Our trees look similar to the California redwood, except a little grayer in color and 100 times bigger. A lot of our plants come from other planets and only grow in certain areas. It is a brownish, yellow, red, all mixed together. That is where our shrubs are located. A being of a higher vibration would see us, but we would look something like heat and very bright light. If someone were sensitive to energy, they could feel us because our energy is strong. Someone in the third dimension that was not sensitive would not see anything. There is no need for religion or currency. We have no need for technology. nor do we have buildings. We live basically the way the hippie movement wanted to. We are free and loving. We actually appreciate the practicality of the human mind. We tried to copy one of the sea ships during the time of Atlantis. We did well with the design, but we couldn't stand having to hurt a tree in order to make it. So we never made another one. As I recall these memories, I realized an event that left me disgusted by the insectoid species. What happened is that some insectoid species found our planet and saw all the food there, which was our plants. They started to eat away at our forests, and we were very upset. They couldn't see us and didn't know that we were there. I do not feel this way about all insectoids. It is just a personal grudge I have about that one particular event. Sorry if you can hear my stomach. It was a very traumatic event for us. Imagine having your mother eaten from the inside out. I was born from my mother by C-section because my brother was going to be born breached, so I was too. My mother is ET as well. She just doesn't know it. We are both super sensitive to anesthetic. My mom isn't meant to know her identity this lifetime, but she came here as a general helper. That is why she is a nurse. So, I am a starseed, an ET soul in a human body. The term starseed has another important meaning for me because our people birth stars. I remember taking astronomy, and I would always skip over the Earth bit. Sorry, I try to do this in one take without messing up. Let's run that back. I remember taking astronomy, and I would always skip over the Earth bit and go right to the star classification information. I wanted to be an astrophysicist when I was in college. However, I am over aware of the ethereal world, and this led to medical problems in college because I would often go out of body. You are wherever your mind is. Very few people are in their bodies, and if they are, I feel bad for them. Since I was the age of 2, I have had ethereal communication with my people in one form or another. I would randomly cry or laugh when I was a baby. And now I know it was during my communication with my people. When I was a little older, I didn't have any friends that were human. I would just sit and talk to my people, even play games with them. Our communication was out loud as well as telepathic. They could read my thoughts and always knew what I was thinking. I always have communication with my people, even now. It is similar to asking a question and having an image just pop in your mind. I focus in on their dimension and I can see them. My guides that came with me. One experience I had was when my fiance and I were together and we could feel each other's wings. Then, suddenly, we were back in the past. He is an incarnate reptilian hybrid and has scaly ethereal wings. Although he is from my home galaxy, quadrant, school means that we were in the same lesson at the same time. We have been together for a very long time and through many lifetimes. We originally met while we were both working in a similar star system. His race of reptilians are mediators and consider themselves knights in shining armor, but are always helping other races. In his race's organization, he is of a high ranking. I believe his incarnation on Earth was a result of rape between his mother and the negative race of reptilians who are on Earth now. Those reptilians. He volunteered to incarnate into that baby's body because he is gifted at controlling urges, and he knew urges would result from the negative reptilian DNA. He lived through a devastating childhood, but is today the most loving man I have ever met. I recall a lifetime. I recalled a life during the times of Lemuria, where I mated with a reptilian being. It was during the bombing of Lemuria, and mud huts were flying everywhere. We were together during the bombing, and he was very loving towards me. He took me up on a ship and took care of me for the 10.5 months I was pregnant. We had a hybrid son together, and when I died about 5 years later, my son lived on. My dad just got out of the army and was an engineer in the 1970s. He was invited to a special event and accidentally walked into the wrong room. He walked into a meeting where they were discussing how to create a black hole outside of a spacecraft. so it would pull it faster. The guards realized he was not supposed to be there and eventually escorted him out. If we incorporate spirituality into science, we wouldn't even need a spacecraft. Ships are for the physical plane. I have my own stories, and I never really decided whether they were true or not. My father had his own stories as well. Then, Doreen Virtue did her own study on what she calls star people. Virtue herself is an incarnated angel from the 11th dimension. I read her book called Earth Angels, and it talks about the kinds of souls that are incarnated on Earth right now. Someone told me I was a rainbow child, and I didn't know what that meant until I read her book. In Earth Angels, it says, the auras of star people are rainbow rays emanating from their skin. I instantly recognized that, and I knew what that meant. I looked at my aura, and it was not like that. So I said, okay, I am not one of those then. I later came to understand that Doreen Virtue is still doing her research and that she doesn't know everything that is out there. She hasn't found all the resources yet. So there is good reason to use discernment when researching the information in any book. I watched the movie What the Bleep Do We Know? And they stated that the human mind perceives only what it wants to see. I knew that this was true when I heard it. So I decided to go outside, look at the sky, and see what was really there. I started to feel all these energies and started to feel overwhelmed. Then I asked my MUFON friend about this experience and started to research things, such as the men who fought the gray ETs in Mexico and Valiant Thor, an ET from Venus. These stories struck me as true. Then suddenly one night, it just came to me. The elves equal the Pleiadians. That was just 2 weeks ago. But I have always had these memories of my home world, and of past lives. I followed the Lord of the Rings movies, and it made me sad. I just wanted to go home. My mission is to help heal people and help those who ask for help. I can't actually heal people. They have to heal themselves. People not only have to be accepting of the healing, but also they have to continue what I have done for them. It is not until the unconscious, subconscious, and conscious mind agree that we feel complete union and do whatever we want. At that point, the law of attraction is instantaneous. I am a musician. I have been one ever since I can remember, and I have always been attracted to instruments. Music comes naturally to me. It is like a gift or from an implant that was given to me as a tool to use. When I play my music, colors surround me and heal me. It also affects those that are nearby. I also have a strong affinity for colors, like color therapy. I do energy therapy for chakras, and I help people visualize. I practice my color music for personal groups. It is much stronger that way, and those who need it come to me. I have been on Earth ever since humans have been here. The reason was to see how much we could learn on this plane of existence. Earth is of a low vibration, and we know that the lower the vibration, the more we learn. I remember how difficult it was in the beginning, trying to get an entirely new genetically engineered species off the ground and have successful incarnations. We had to work on this, and I was one of the volunteers. We were a big group of beings that volunteered for this project. Not just our species, but many. There is an influence on Earth of basically every race that is out there in the universe. I was in Atlantis and Lemuria before Sanskrit was invented. I was in Egypt as a high priestess for several lives. I was actually a double spy during the Cold War in my last life before now. I am here on Earth not only as a teacher, but also a connector. Someone who brings people together. I feel this is why I have such good memories. I am gathering the 50 plus people that are from my home world. They are located around Earth, except China, Eastern Russia, and Singapore. A lot of us are located in Switzerland, the neutral country, of course, and also the USA, since it is a strong, powerful country. We want to go to China, but it will be rough because of the situation there. Our people have no tolerance of not being able to know what we want to learn. For example, in China, They have restrictions on the internet, allowing only limited research and knowledge. The internet is an integral part of life for us, and that would cause us great hardship. Spiritually, I believe in the unity of all living things. Together we make up unity or God. And love is the ultimate power. In order to reach any kind of harmony, one first has to love thyself. We are all reaching towards personal goals whose levels are infinite and therefore irrelevant. What people call God is love. Love is the type of power that makes you feel stronger. It is also electricity. It is also matter. It is energy and power within itself. Notice that when you feel hatred or absence of love, that lights flicker. If my people had a name they call God, it would be the universe. It is too beautiful to put into words. All right. That was such a very good story. I really love these stories. I really do hope you enjoyed listening to this story today. So, let me know in the comment section down below what you thought of that story. Ooh, my legs are falling asleep. I like sitting cross-legged. So yeah, don't be shy and hit the like button so that I know that you liked it. And go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you're not already, because you don't want to miss any other things that I've got in store, right? Also, let me know what you guys would like to see, what other type of videos you'd like to see from me. Still trying to work this out and see what's going to be best for you. Be well. I love you so much. If you didn't already hear the first story that I read about the star beings that walk among us, go ahead and watch that, and then you'll get all caught up, and then I'll have more stories to bring you. So, yes. And stay meditated, and I will see you soon.